All right, so we're given a power series, the sum from n is 0 to infinity of a sub n times the quantity x minus 3 to the n, and we're told that it converges at 5. So let's look at what we know. Okay, the center of this power series, right? So the center of this power series is definitely x equals 3, right? We know that this thing converges at 5. So from the center, right, we know for sure 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? So here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all the numbers that I have on my questions, right, A through E. So we know that this thing is centered at 3, and we know for sure that it converges at 5. What that means is that the radius is at least, at least, so I meant the other direction. Oh, giant eraser, I hate you. The radius is at least 2, right? It could be 2, right? So the radius is greater than or equal to 2, right? Meaning the minimum radius, right? The minimum radius would have my interval of convergence be this window, right? Because I know that 5 gets hit, right? So let's start with dealing with this 1, right? If the radius is 2, then we know that this thing converges on the window from 1 to 5 for sure, but we don't know about x is 1, right? Because we've seen before when we did the interval of convergence of the power series that we just don't know if this is open or closed. So we can't know if this series converges or diverges at 1, right? We also can't know if the radius covers 0 and 6, because we were told that this thing definitely converges at 5, but we don't know if that's the endpoint. Maybe this thing has a radius of 3. The radius just has to be great, like the radius has to hit 5. It might go farther than 5, but we just don't know if this thing converges at 6, and we can't know if this thing converges at 0. There's just not enough information given because we're asked which one must be true. But what we can know, without question, is that this thing has to converge at 2. Because here's 2, and the smallest that this radius could possibly be is a radius of 2, because it has to manage to go from 3 to 5, which means it's going from 3 to 1. We don't know if the 1 itself is included, but 2 is definitely in that interval, so this thing definitely has to converge at 2. This is much easier if you have a picture.